Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fort Wayne Footy. Taking on a little bit of a different look this week. Brian is actually gone. He's actually gone this week and not jumping in like 10 minutes or anything like that. He's not behind stage, nothing like that. But I got my other two co-hosts here with me. Excited to get a good discussion tonight about some high school soccer around the area coming up this fall. And I will introduce our group. I'll start with Autumn. Autumn DeMott, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dustin. It's kind of weird not having Brian, but it's also kind of peaceful. I'm just kidding. I'm just
It is
kidding,
weird.
everyone. Yeah. No, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
It is weird. We did have him have to help us with some technical difficulties with me beforehand. So yes, no. I'm gonna throw this up here. Dwayne, no, he is not actually fired. He's not actually fired. But Brian is in Cincinnati. He went to the FC Cincinnati game this evening, and he's still there. So hopefully watching here. But yeah. Anyways, Micah.
You're doing great, Brian. Or Dustin, not Brian. Sorry. Dustin, you're doing great.
Micah, how's it going, man?
It's good. It's a busy start of the year. So just trying to tie up all the little admin things that people don't think coaches do. Like we just sit out and just yell at players all day, right? But it's the sign-ups for concessions and ball runners and who's doing our T-shirts and all that. So that was a good portion of my day today, just doing all that admin stuff that I really don't want to do.
Yeah. And this is like you guys' plug, right? Like you guys need coaches.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Each one of you.
Yeah.
I am currently looking for a JV coach. So any of our listeners, if you are interested, just send us a note and we can definitely have a conversation.
Yeah. I need a staff.
Yeah, I was gonna say both of you, right? Like, and we joked a little bit beforehand. Somebody who just has a pulse, but no, we want somebody who does know a little bit about soccer, right? But yeah, if anyone out there is interested or has the free time and would be willing to jump in and help either one of them, they would gladly take you for this next season. So, yeah. So anyways, we got a great show. We've got a couple guests coming on to talk high school boys and girls soccer in the area coming up. We've got Josh Patterson from the Journal Gazette that's going to come on here in just a few minutes. And then we have Todd Gilpin from Fort Wayne Sport Club talk a little bit about high school girls. So, before we get into that, I want to throw a little bit up here about our sponsor. And so OmniSource is our sponsor tonight. One of North America's largest processors, distributors, and managers of scrap and secondary metals based here in Fort Wayne. We appreciate their sponsorship of our show. If you are interested or know anyone that's interested in sponsoring Fort Wayne Footy, send us an email or message us on social media, info@fortwaynefooty.com. We'd love to get you set up. We have a few packages that you can kind of choose from to support, whether it's a show or the season or anything like that. We'd love to have you. Also, we have Patreon. We talked a little bit about that last week, but we currently have $5 and $10 monthly tiers and a one-time no frills $30 tier for those who would like to contribute but don't want all the extra fluff and stuff that's associated with Patreon. There's a link in the description of this podcast. Click that, choose the tier, and then we'll see you on the other side. So other big news, our merch sales ended last week. Our merch orders should be available at the end of this week for us to pick up, or if you had them sent to your house, either one, they should be available at the end of this week. When you get your gear, we'd love for you to take a picture, post it, tag us in your post. We'd love to share it, get the word out. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to get the stuff.
Yep.
I think it's a little dream of mine. I've always wanted a T-shirt with my face on it.
So
I'm super excited to have that.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one thing that I was like, I have to have is the T-shirt of all of us. Like,
you gotta
that's
have
the
the
only
face.
thing. No, I'm excited for it. I think 18 Threads is pretty awesome. If you're picking them up, you can pick them up at the store, or they'll get sent to your address that you put it on your order. So that's coming up hopefully the end of this week. So jazz, just in time for games, right? We can wear them to games. People can recognize us, all that. I want to jump in with our first guest. I see him backstage. We're going to throw him on. We have Josh Patterson back in for this week. Josh works for the Journal-Gazette. We had him on earlier. He talked a little bit about Fort Wayne FC earlier on in the season, but we want to talk a little bit about boys soccer, boys high school soccer in the area. We want to just kind of get a preview. We know that you kind of covered this. You just had a couple articles, correct, that came out about boys and girls to look for this
yes, earlier. I believe it was earlier this week.
Yeah,
it was either earlier this week or last week. It's been a blur. I mean, full disclosure, moved into my new house last week, which is why the walls are very bare behind me. And a call back to what you guys were just talking about. I actually dabble in professional wrestling as a referee on the side.
Jeez.
And I do have a shirt with my face on it, and it's really cool. And
nice.
So be excited for that when you guys get that. That'll be awesome for you.
Nice. Well, yeah. So we thank you for coming on. We just kind of wanted to get your take on, the high school season coming up in the area, what you're looking forward to, kind of what your preview is of the boys in the area. And yeah, just kind of give us a rundown.
Sure. I think, obviously the SACs, the big focus here in Fort Wayne locally, I would say. And you got to start with Concordia, I think, making that run to the 2A state title game again. Coach Mackey's 2 wins away from 300 for his career. Like, they don't necessarily, win the conference all the time, but, as one of the smaller schools population wise in a conference that's going to have a lot of schools that are really big, like it's kind of like Bishop Luers in football. The joke was they'd go 4-4 in the regular season, then win a state championship. Those smaller schools in the SAC, they get, they take their lumps, but they give them out as well. But then they get into the postseason where it's similar size schools, and they're able to, take the lessons that they learned and apply them, and go on really cool runs. Obviously Canterbury fell off a little bit last year with just 3 wins, but that's a program that Hall of Famer Greg Malk put on the map. I mean, he retired with, goodness, I think almost 700 coaching victories. I mean, just an absolute legend. So that's a thing I think I'd like to see. I'd like to see Canterbury maybe take that step up. It seems like they might have been young and just kind of going through some stuff. So hopefully they're able to right the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not in the SAC, obviously, but that's, when you talk about soccer in Fort Wayne, that's a program that really, comes top of mind for a lot of folks. Another one, not in the SAC. Oh, sorry.
Isn't Mark
What's that?
Coaching again this year? Isn't
he? I was waiting to interject here. Yeah, Greg actually is returned. So he has the boys program, back this year. So I'll be curious to see what he does.
Very exciting. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you've got the pedigree there. So I guess he might have got bored just sitting in his lake house.
Retirement was a little bit boring.
Yeah. Vesta might have kicked him out and said, "Go do something." So he's like, "Okay, I'll go do this. I know this." Carroll had a really good season last year as well. 16 wins, I think only 2 losses, 2 draws. And went on a little bit of run in the postseason, and they're the only returning or a team that has a returning all-state player in defender Parker Yeager. They've got both their goalkeepers back, and with the schedule that they play, they played a lot of the SAC. They'll play, likes like Carmel and Cathedral down in Indy. A program that's sneaky good that a lot of folks might not necessarily know around here, but West Noble, up in Ligonier, they have just a tremendous influx of talent. I feel like every year for like the last 20 years, they've either won or finished second in their conference. But that's always a really good test for both Carroll and West Noble very early on in the season. Like, I believe they're playing either this week or next.
Next week, second game, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll be a great test for both programs just to kind of see where they are and see where they stack up. So that'll be a fun one. And I live in the Northwest Allen School District, so if it's at home, I might just have to pop over there and check out some really high level soccer there. Yeah. Bishop Luers, I believe they won the SAC last year, and they've got, I believe their brothers, Andres and Christopher Rodriguez. Both of them scored about 10 goals last year. some graduation losses, just like everybody. You know, it's a new year. You're going to have to put a new team and see how it gels. But they've got a couple of solid pieces, you know, to really build upon. And, you know, maybe they make it 2 in a row. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just seeing, I saw earlier the preseason kind of came out for 3A, 2A, and 1A, and they have lures pretty high up there in 3A.
And
so,
I mean, you know, with good reason. You know, they've got
Yeah.
the, you know, pedigree from last year, and they've got enough
Yep.
returning pieces that showed some promise last year that, you know, why not put them up there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know they played Concordia, I think, pretty early in the sectionals. And that was a really, really good match. And I think that's one of the reasons why Concordia went on their run. You know, once they got through lures, it was, you know, a really good run for them. And they were playing well. But I know I was able to watch lures practice a little bit. My boys had practice right after them at Sport Club, and they look good. They look really good. And Ancini does a really good job with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what lures can do this year again as well.
Yeah. Do you have, I just wanted to talk through, like, do you have any players in specifically that you're looking forward to watch for this year?
I mean, you know, like the 2 Rodriguez's from Lures. Again, I'm not sure if they're brothers or not, but a couple of years apart. So, you know, maybe they if they are, they probably just grew up playing together, I'd imagine. You know, Andres, be a senior this year, had 10 goals, 9 assists last year. And then Christopher, 9 goals and 6 assists. So, you know, it's a nice 1-2 tandem up top. I'm going to scroll to my notes here.
No, you're good.
Carroll, like I said, the Yeager kid, Parker Yeager, you know, honorable mention All-State defender last year. And then they have both of their goalkeepers back in Landon Macy and Boston Sansifer. And they didn't give up a ton of goals last year. And, you know, to have your 1 and your 2 back, like that's a great, I mean, if you don't let in goals, you're going to win some games. So, you know, that's a great place to start. And if you've got 2 of them there, that's a really good place to start.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had Landon Wells on earlier this year on our podcast, and he actually is at Carroll now. So came back and is playing for Carroll. So should be interesting to kind of see how that plays out, how that works. Good player. I mean, we talked about all of the accomplishments he's had. Now he's, you know, back playing for Carroll High School. So it should be interesting. I think it'll be, I think across the board, there's a lot of what ifs and what you don't know what's going to happen. You know, I think every year it kind of comes up with that. Like, yeah, you graduate guys, but then you have other guys kind of step up or guys come in. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out from the boys' side.
Absolutely.
Do you have any surprises that you're looking for, or any teams that you think could just completely shock the area with talent or players this year?
I mean, it's not really a surprise, but you know, with what Carroll did last year and what they bring back, I mean, 3 players that scored at least 5 goals. I mean, I don't want to say like the beat goes on, but you feel like a program like Carroll, you know, with the size of the school that they have to pull players from, you know, and just the level of talent that you see, you know, going through the different setups, you know, United and Sport Club North, which was formerly, I believe, the Hurricanes that were, and it's really exciting to see, you know, what the academies can do to get these players ready for the high school seasons. And then, you know, looking forward, the unknown, you know, does Fort Wayne FC launch a youth academy? That could be a whole game changer as well. So I guess that's the best part about being August 10th is like, we're sitting here, we get to look at rosters. We see what players did last year. We see, you know, who's new, who's back, you know, who's a surprise back, like, you know, Coach Malk. Like, there's so much potential. And, you know, that's a really exciting point in time to see, okay, what do we think will happen? And then 2 months later, we realize, oh, we were way wrong on all of this.
Yeah. I want to throw a couple of comments up here, just briefly. So West Noble versus Angola boys, Andy says, is always a good game. So I don't know when that is this year, but a good one to look out for. And then I guess Southern
Absolutely.
Wells starting soccer this season, first time. So
that's fantastic.
Could be interesting to see kind of how that plays out as well. From that.
I'd be curious to see what they do, because Southern Wells is a pretty small school. It's a 1A school in football, so it's one of the smaller ones in the state. And they still have their football program, so that's Dayton. I'll kind of go one at a time. The Angola West Noble matchup, they played 3 times last year. West Noble got the Hornets in the regular season and the conference tournament, but then Angola, maybe surprised them, maybe not, because Angola had 17 wins last year, got them in the postseason. And Angola is always kind of in that mix in the Northeast Corner Conference. It's them and Westview and West Noble. You go back and scroll, and those are going to be the 3 teams you're going to see at the top of that league. Angola did lose a lot of offense from last year, so they might take a step back. Then again, they might prove me wrong. Maybe they, have a couple kids that, like played at an academy, and then they're really where they want to be now.
Yeah.
See when West Noble and Angola play.
Angola had a kid up top, and I don't recall his name. I just remember watching him when they played Concordia, I think in the sectional championships or regionals or something like that. And he was fast. And I wish I remember his name, but he was a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Angola and West Noble is in Ligonier on the 26th of August. It's Angola's third game.
Early. So again, another early game. That's a lot of testing early on in the season, which is kind of good, kind of also like up in the air. You never know. Are they conditioned? Are the teams conditioned? Are they ready to play? I think a team in the August and then a team in the end of September, October is a totally different team.
Oh, absolutely.
When it comes down to high school. And so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
The one player, Cameron Sturry, I think might be the one you were talking about. That
could be
was really, really good. I think
looks like
I was gonna say it looks like it. Yeah.
It looks like that's what Andy said. His name was Cam. So
okay, yeah. He had 35 goals and 11 assists. That's not a bad season.
Wow,
not a bad player at all.
No.
Is he back this year? Did he graduate, or is he still?
I know he graduated.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They actually graduated their top scorers from last year. So another player that had 19, another one that had 10, and then 9 and 8, and all 5 of those graduated. So it's
geez.
Yeah. So it like I said, Angola could take a step back, but then again, if the JV squad played really well and they're really cohesive, maybe not have the same level of offensive firepower, but still could possibly, pull something off.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about club sports and how it gets them ready for, as you think about those teams that are, outside the Fort Wayne area that are maybe not playing as many club sports or not in club as much as what the other players are. How are they what are they doing in the off season? I mean, are they driving down to play, Sport Club United? How's that playing out for them?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. That the travel is going to be part of the deal. It's very unrelated, but there's a girl that just graduated from Wawasee High School, Julie Mishler. She's a swimmer, and her club swim team was down in Fishers.
Oh,
she set national records. She set a national high school record in the I think it was the 50 freestyle this past season in a dual meet, and then 24 hours later, she's competing in North Carolina. Jeez. And then headed back 2 days later to compete in a meet that weekend back in Indiana. So when you're getting to that level where you're going to be competitive, you go where the competition is going to be. Fort Wayne's blessed to have several academies. You've got Rangers kind of up in the north for, a school like in East Noble or in Angola could go there. It wouldn't be so far to travel. But I would think just with the volume of teams that United and Sport Club have, they're going to draw not just from Fort Wayne, but also the surrounding areas.
Yeah. When you think about other teams in the area, we talk about Bishop Dwenger and we talk about, some other schools, what are they looking like this year from a boys perspective?
I know Dwenger, they pulled off a little bit of a surprise in the postseason. Leo went unbeaten in the Northeast State last year, and then got tripped up by a Bishop Dwenger there in the sectional. So, Leo had a decent season. They're one of those perennial powers in the Northeast state, which is kind of, if you envision like the SAC is like, the circle in the middle, the Northeast state's kind of like that donut conference that gets, all the small cities in the, immediate outlying area. Columbia City tied with Leo 2 seasons ago for the Northeast state title. So you'd think, they want to get back in the championship chase. Leo doesn't want to drop their crown. They won it outright last year. Split with Columbia City 2 years ago, and I'm sure they liked winning it by 2 full games, and probably want to do that again this year, I'd imagine.
Yeah. What about you always think of like powerhouse teams, big schools, big teams that a lot of boys that come out for it. So I heard from somebody that is associated with our podcast a little bit that that Homestead had a lot of boys that came out for tryouts. What are they looking like for this year?
Full disclosure, I have not seen much of Homestead, so it's hard for me to say from the jump. But if it's kids that maybe have played football, are still athletic but want to try something else, the football program always draws huge numbers. So maybe soccer is another way for if you sometimes you just want to get your best athletes on the field, maybe not know exactly what to do with the ball, but if you can run faster than everybody else and then try to kick the ball in the goal, maybe that's good enough.
No, I know if Brian was here, he'd be able to speak a little bit to that since he's coaches the goalies. But I just always think of, when I think of big games and big schools, Carroll versus Homestead is always a huge game. It's always a big deal. And so as that's circled on the I know in our house it's circled on the calendar every single year from that perspective. So just wondered what that looked like. But
Carroll Homestead, it's a bit of an odd deal. Not odd per se, but they left when the Northeast Hoosier Conference went defunct about a decade ago now, which makes me feel old, and I don't want to admit that, but here we are.
Listen, it was a thing when I went to Carroll. It was a thing back then, so it's hard. Perfect. You got me here.
So they joined the SAC in football and then boys and girls basketball, but every other sport they're just on their own, independent. So you still got that rivalry. It's the 2 biggest high schools population wise. If you look at the annual enrollment charts, it's always like just kind of, one creeps past the other, one goes past the other, but they're both, growing by leaps and bounds. Some of the schools, a lot of schools in the area are actually shrinking in population. Those 2 continue to grow. You look at the growth, of housing up north, out southwest, and it's just going to continue to grow until they, run out of land. Right. And Columbia City's actually seen a little bit of that growth too. They're getting a lot of folks just across the Allen County line, and that's only making their athletic programs, that much more competitive.
So if I can put you on the spot kind of here at the end of like us talking about the boys, if you could say one team in the area that you think is probably going to, or I'll give you 2, or I'll give you 2. If you could get 1 or 2 teams in the area from a boys perspective that you feel like have the potential to go for farthest in the postseason. And I think it's hard because when I think of Carroll, and we've talked about Carroll a little bit, Carroll always they get to that regional and then they play Warsaw, and then it's a tough regional. And so if you had to choose 1 or 2 teams in the area that you would say that you think will probably go the furthest, who would you say?
And
we won't hold you to it.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do want to shout out Warsaw as well, just for the conference that they play in. The Northern Lakes Conference, kind of gets slept on a little bit here because it's not exactly in the Fort Wayne media coverage area. It's not exactly in the South Bend media coverage area, but they turn out some major players, in 3A and 2A soccer. Concord, advanced really far in the postseason last year, went undefeated in that league. Warsaw was 14-3-3 last year, 4-2-1 in the conference. They finished 4th, and they advanced into the regionals, well into the Class 3A postseason. But I think I'm going to use that class system to my advantage here. And I'll say Concordia or Bishop Luers. I mean, you can't simulate what a run through the postseason is unless you do it.
Yeah.
And Concordia got to do it, and they got to, go all the way to Indianapolis last year.
Yep.
Bishop Luers had a great season and returns enough pieces, and both of them have the benefit of being in class 2A compared to 3A, where, you're getting into all those, mega schools like Carmel's, 6,000 kids now. There's so many 4,000 and 5,000 student high schools in the Indy metro area. If you can stay in that class 2A range, or maybe like a Blackhawk who won like 13 games last year in class 1A, maybe they're able to put a run together, playing those smaller schools, 400 or 500 kids.
Yeah.
So if you can give me three, I would say Concordia or Bishop Luers or Blackhawk Christian. And again, some of that is, playing the larger schools in your regular season and then getting the benefit of playing schools that are more your size, once you get to the postseason.
This is just me throwing this out there and not no knowledge or anything. How long do you continue a 3-class system in the state of Indiana as soccer continues to grow? Like you think of there's 6A in football, and I know football's always been a big thing, but how long does that 3-tiered system, how long does that stay before you go into 4, 5, whatever?
Right. I don't think it'll ever get to the point where you do 5 classes.
Yeah.
For that's just 64 teams. A sectional in football is a 3-week tournament.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
You've got 8 teams, and that's a full week of recovery between games. Whereas, with a soccer sectional, you can bang that out, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you still get that rest day in between. I'm sure you're tired at the end of a sectional, 3 games in 5 days, but as more schools continue to add the sport, like the commenter said, Southern Wells added soccer. If you get to that certain threshold to maybe where it's, over 300, if we get to 320, and you can split it up into 4 divisions of 80, maybe that's kind of that threshold where it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just pulled out the schedule. Looks like Concordia and Luers start out both their first match of the season on the 19th. So really interesting that they're playing so quickly at the start of the season.
Against each other?
Yeah.
Really? That's the first? Okay. Well, the 19th, you said?
Yep. 19th.
Geez, the 19th is a big day for
it's a big day.
A lot of games.
It's a big day.
Well, Josh, we want to thank you for coming on, kind of talking a little bit of boys preseason. Maybe we'll get you on as we get into the postseason, kind of talk through and see where those predictions ended up.
All right, sounds good to me, man. Really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time out of moving and everything to join us. Appreciate it.
I needed the excuse to not do stuff, so appreciate that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks again, and we'll talk to you later.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Josh.
That's great. I think it's going to be interesting. I think from a boys' perspective, I feel like it's up in the air, honestly.
So much, yeah. I mean, and we didn't really even touch on Homestead. We talked about Carroll, but Dwanger is another team that has a lot of success.
Yeah.
Leo has been regional in the regional finals the last couple of years, and really quality team, lots of good players there. So it'll be fun. Even Concordia graduated a couple key players. Yeah. They brought in a couple key players as well. So it'll be, and I know Luers, I've heard there's a couple transfers that came into Luers this year. So it's going to be fun. So my son plays at Concordia, so I'm hoping to see a lot of his games this year.
A poster, yeah, I was gonna say, just not the 19th.
No,
I'm gonna be busy on that day.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that Josh came on to kind of give us a preview. Some of those, I mean, again, Angola, those teams that I don't personally get to see very much of Angola. I get to see West Noble because Carroll plays West Noble and those teams, but those outlying schools, and just knowing that Southern Wells now has a team that's playing it's cool. I mean, it's great to see the sport of soccer across the board grow. And so for a small school like Southern Wells to have a team to play is awesome. That's great to see. So, all right, we're going to flip the switch a little bit. we're going to talk more girls high school soccer, preseason stuff. I know that we got two people on here that are pretty hardcore in relationships to that, but we're going to throw in a wrench here, and we're going to get one more in here. So I'm going to add Todd here to the mix. Todd, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And Todd, you're with Fort Wayne Sport Club, and then you follow obviously high school girls soccer, and you sent a good rundown to me and Brian earlier today. So I know that you've got a lot to say about girls high school soccer within the area, and I'm gonna let these two also throw in some questions and some things to you too, because I know they know it pretty well too. But talk to us a little bit about what you're looking forward to this season from a high school girls perspective.
Well, first, I'm looking forward to seeing the shirts with your faces on them. I personally do not have a shirt with my face. I do have a pair of socks, however, with my face all over it. That one of my teams snuck some pictures throughout the season of me and gave me some socks at the end of the year with my face on them.
Nice.
But yeah, so a rundown of the season. I as you said, I looked at and I sent you the kind of a breakdown. The two conferences that I really look at, the SAC and the Northeast 8, that's Allen County and the surrounding area. And then as you spoke earlier, you've got Carroll, Homestead, not in conferences. But really any discussion of girls soccer in the city has to start with those two. This year I really think Homestead is going to be the class of the city. Carroll, not too far behind, could make it up there. Homestead's got a big three scorers. The question is, is there enough balls to go around for the three of them to get their due? Audrey Johnson, fantastic talent. Channing Zyarath and Brayley Morris, all fantastic scorers. With Homestead, then they don't stop there. Their midfield is fantastic. Their defense, I just found out they've got a freshman coming in. One of their center backs is actually on an exchange program and not playing this year, but I just heard they have a center back that plays in Indianapolis club coming in this year, Brooke Poppy. I don't know anything about her, but Paul Johnson just let me know about her coming in to fill that void. So Homestead's going to be top of the city. Carroll, like I said, not too far behind. You can go down that roster. There's not a hole in Carroll's roster either. Now, let's get to the SAC. I might make a couple on here happy. I might make them. I don't know. We'll see their reaction.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
We'll see if we invite you back.
See if you invite me back. But the SAC, I think you've got three teams at the top of the conference, and then a couple in the middle, and then the bottom of the conference. The three at the top, same three that have been around the past couple of years. Bishop Dwenger, obviously, they've won the conference the past couple of years. Very young team. Not many seniors on that team. Again, it's a pretty loaded roster. The question there, I understand they have a new coach this year. You guys are shaking your head, so I always question a new coach, not because of their ability, but can they gel with the team? Does that team work with them? A team that's had success, and Leo's in the same boat, right? They have a new coach after a longtime coach left. How does that team gel under the new coach? They've still got the talent, but does the new coaching style fit with that talent as it has in the past? So I'm putting Dwenger at the top of the conference. Micah, you might like this one. I think you guys hop Northrop this year. Concordia jumping Northrop. Key lost. You obviously lost Concordia, the SAC player of the year, Reagan Mattel. A lot of goals, but it still is a very talented roster. Corey Brown, obviously going to lead that team, and everything's going to run through her. I think Concordia goes back-to-back SAC Player of the Year. and Corey gets the nod this year. But outside of that, a solid defense. The Maley Kesters, Julia Cobb, solid goalkeeper in Jen Dressler. Very solid team around Corey. Northrop, though, lost some, but not a lot. You still got to deal with Murray out there. You've got Allison Diaz, Anna Gerber, a lot of talent on Northrop.
Yeah, Allie Diaz is an absolute
handful. It's 2A, 2B.
Yeah, she is an absolute handful. We really struggled with her last year, so really good player.
With who was that?
Allie Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nuri she's just a different sort of player as well. So two very, very good players over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think either Concordia or Northrop could knock off Dwayne. You did it in the sectionals. So that is absolutely a possibility. From there, I think there's a little bit of a step off coming down to Snyder, Southside. And then you still have Lures, Wayne, and Northrop down there. They've all got some players. They've all got talent, but they don't have the depth. They don't have, as solid of a lineup top to bottom as those top three. I find it interesting, just as a side note, talking about the boys, some of the teams at the top of the SAC on the boys' side, it's kind of flip-flopped on the girls' side.
The girls.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There, but so that's my take on the SAC. Even the bottom. So a North Side and a Wayne, if they're playing each other, you're still going to see girls compete. Those are always fun games to watch. Yeah. They're out there competing. They're a little bit of pride for their school. So those are some fun games to watch. They don't get the publicity of Carroll versus Homestead.
Right.
But they're out there working just as hard and deserve some of that recognition as well. Then you go to the Northeast 8. Again, 3 top teams that you could, kind of throw in the mix, and one of them's going to come out. I'm not really sure who. Leo obviously has the talent. I spoke earlier, new coach.
Yeah.
How does the talent gel with the new coach? First year as a high school coach. Now, her dad, which I'm sure she's going to lean on heavily, Jerry Jenkins, Elise Jenkins, or Elise Sproat is the new coach. I'm sure she's going to lean on her dad's experience, but how does that team gel with her? They've got the talent. It's a senior heavy team. You've got what did I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 or 7 solid seniors that made all conference. They've made it on state runs. So they've got the talent. They've got some solid juniors. How does that mesh with the new coaching style? That'll be the question there. DeKalb, honestly, I don't know much about DeKalb, but they had a great record and they returned a lot of people. I've seen them play. They were a solid team, but nobody. I didn't take notes on that, but I know they've got one of the better goalkeepers in the area, which can carry you a long way. Denise Jordan, Belmont, and here's where I think Belmont is maybe going to make a little bit of a wave, especially come sectionals, regionals. They return an all-conference goalkeeper and 3 all-conference defenders.
Oh, geez.
Right. So you got Emily Barton coming back, Brianna Converse, Addie Knipstein, and Ashley Bleak as defenders. If you're not letting in goals, that's half the game right there.
Yeah, for sure.
The question I have with them, they've lost a lot on the other end of the field the past 2 years. Where are those goals going to come from? Can they get some goals to go with their shutouts?
So
that's my top 3.
Yeah, we played Belmont over the summer. I mean, we'll play them in the regular season. We lost them in the regional semis. There's a forward, Ani, and I don't recall her last name, but she was an absolute handful this summer. So they do have some players that are going to be able to score goals. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in that that conference. And obviously, once they get into the state tournament, Leo's still in 3A. Belmont always makes a run every single year. And they're so athletic. They're so fast.
Yes. Oni Krukerberg. She can score. But yeah, I look for Belmont to make a run come the tournament. A player that the team might not have a lot of success, but Grace Mann at Norwell she's going to score a lot of goals again.
Yeah.
So she's a fun player to watch. But yeah, outside of that, 2 other area schools looking at. We'll start with Canterbury. Again, another school. I know you've got a fantastic goalkeeper.
Yeah, we do.
Abby's one of the best in the area. I'm not sure what else you got there. I know you've lost a lot the past couple of years. I don't know what you've got coming in.
We're figuring it out. But there we have Abby for sure, especially coming from Sport Club. I'm pretty biased, so sorry viewers, but Abby is, I think she's got a lot of talent as a keeper. And it's been fun to coach her the last last season and then coming into this season for sure. As far as new players, I'm going to be real. We're struggling with numbers, to be honest. And so as far as what's coming up and who came up this year, I only brought up one freshman and then stole one from, Woodside. So
I thought you were going to say from Concordia. That would have been
that would have been amazing. I teed that
slam.
up nicely. Yeah, no. But yeah, so unfortunately, we lost a lot of seniors and a lot of talent last year. So I'll be curious to see. I'm starting to see some stuff with our first week of practices done, but I'll be curious to see what players are going to step up this year in terms of what we had the last couple of years.
What is it? The 19th? You get a good test, I hear.
Yes, you better be there. It's going to be the game of a lifetime.
6:30, I believe, is the start time. I don't think we've moved it yet. I think it's 6:30 on the 19th. Yeah. At Canterbury.
At Canterbury, yeah.
At Canterbury. That's always a good place to play. Fun atmosphere that Canterbury gets out there.
I looked at the boys' schedule. The boys are away that day, so we don't have to deal with a lot of the fans.
Oh, that's good. The other school to look at, and I think they could make a good run in the tournament, is Blackhawk Christian.
I agree with that one.
Again, we spoke 1A school, small school. You compare them to other schools in the city, and maybe some of the talent's not there, but they are small. You get them in that 1A tournament. They're returning their 3 top goal scorers. You've got Becca McGlennon in the midfield, fantastic talent. McKenna Grorud, their goalkeeper, again, another one of the top goalkeepers in the city. They could absolutely make a run through the tournament at that 1A. A lot of talent there.
Yeah. I think if you had, so Todd, I'm not trying to throw you in, like, just avoid the 2 that are on the
You better make a good decision here, Todd.
if you, I'm going to throw the same kind of question out to you, but like looking at the season, looking at postseason runs, those kinds of things, are there any teams that you think could shock us? Are there any teams that you like? And again, I think there's a bunch of teams that have new coaches, and that's kind of an unknown. What's that going to look like? But if you could choose like a couple teams that are going to shock you, that could make a run, and I think you said a little bit about Blackhawk and those kinds of things. But what would you say from a team perspective that you think could make a run?
Well, that will shock us. Maybe a Blackhawk Christian.
Okay.
A Belmont, names you haven't heard. Homestead's going to be there. That's not a shocker. I don't think. Now they've got obviously tough regionals and semi-states to get through. I think I'll go with Belmont and Blackhawk Christian would be my two kind of dark horses that you don't normally think about.
Yeah.
In the soccer world, make a good run.
Yeah. What about you two? What are you guys? Where are you guys? Like, do you agree with what Todd's saying? Like, you guys in with this?
I agree with Blackhawk.
Yeah.
I mean, we played them towards the end of the season last year, and I saw some good stuff. I mean, I think it's Zach. Is it Zach Spieth? Is he the coach?
Yes.
Yeah. He I mean, as all new coaches, your first year, right? How do you mesh with the team? Do they fit with your playing style? All that stuff, right? That we've talked about.
Yeah.
But having played him towards the end of his first season with those girls, he was moving the ball pretty well. And that was some pretty soccer during our game. And so I think he could put up a fight this year. I think he's one that we're going to have to watch out for sure.
Yep. And I agree with the Belmont pick. I think they've been one of the better teams in the area, at least on the girls' side for the last, as long as I've been there, which is 4 years. So they're going to be good. But overall, the quality of soccer, especially in the SAC, it's improved so much over the past 2 or 3 years. You have coaches now that are staying long term, where I've seen a little bit of turnover. Southside, coach over there has done a really good job with them. Even Bishop Lures, the coach had them set up in a way where they were just very difficult to. They just defended so incredibly well. And I don't think we didn't score a goal until like the 85th minute. And then Corey did Corey things and scored 3 right away. So, but realistically, you still have Leo. I know they got bumped into the 3A. I think they have one more year where they're up in 3A. So then, they a really good team. Maddie Schwalm, I think that's her Schwalm, and Schweigert. I think Schweigert's still there as well. Those are probably 2 top 10 players in the state right now. Just absolute monsters on the field. They're amazing. And obviously there's players around them on Leo that can play as well. So Leo's going to have a good team. And then there's always Dwanger, right? Like they're always kind of sticking around in the conversation. Even with Logan over there as a new coach. Logan's been around the program for a couple of years. He was their assistant last year, I know. So he knows the team, he knows the program, he knows the standards. So I think they'll have a really good transition to his leadership. I mean, and honestly, again, I'm biased, but I have a lot of confidence in my girls as well. I think Northrop's going to be a handful. Dwanger's going to be a handful. But it just, we're very senior heavy this year, and these are girls I've had all 4 years now. So they know what I want, what I expect. So I think we can make a run, but that state tournament is going to be fun this year.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with your comment on some of the coaching and the level on the girls' side stepping up. There's a lot of coaches, and I see this on the club side, that are encouraging their girls to play club, getting out to their feeder schools, doing camps, things like that. You mentioned Southside. Abraham at Southside has really been stepping that program up. You got Coach Cotter at Columbia City doing a lot of good stuff. The guys at Lures really encouraging the girls to do more than just play during the high school season. Get out, play in local leagues, play club ball, things like that. And you are seeing that level step up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Todd, we want to thank you for coming on, kind of giving us a preview. I think it's great. We wanted to give the two of them a little bit of a break so they didn't have to talk very much about like their own squads and what they were expecting. But so no, we appreciate that. We thank you for that. I'm looking forward to what the season, how it comes in store. And again, maybe we'll get you on at the end when we see where all these teams ended up. So
see how I did.
Yeah. No, but thank you so much. And thanks for spending the evening with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys had a lot of firsthand experience with the girl side of things, and so that's exciting. I wanted to kind of get your take on first week. I mean, you're through your first week, right? Of practices, of all of the administrative work that you were talking about, Micah, the ball girl, like all that kind of stuff. How are you feeling? Where are you at with everything? Minus the fact that, again, a plug, coaches. We need some coaches. We need some quality coaches that can help these two out.
I'm feeling pretty good at where we're at. Again, personally speaking, I know I'm biased towards Concordia, but these girls, and Todd made the comment of girls are now playing club in year round, and that was the first thing that I did with this group, where I encourage them. You have to start playing year round. Like, this can't be a 2-3 month thing. You go and do other things, and we're a small school, and there's still an element of that. But this was the first class that I was able to push, and they listened. Most of them were playing over at Sport Club. Some were playing with the Hurricanes. There's a FC Midwest Club or Midwest FC Club. So I had a couple girls out there, and you can just see their progression and their thought processes and their ability to just think quickly changes. And it's been a game changer for us. So I think I probably have about 15 club players on the team, where when I took over, 3 years ago, I had maybe 2, right? So yeah, and that's why I have a lot of confidence in the girls. They've put in a lot of time, a lot of work, and I would definitely argue that Corey Brown is a top 5 player in the state right now as a junior. And as long as she's on the field and she's healthy, like she can create something out of nothing. She has that natural ability, but then there's players around her that can play as well. So it's not just her on an island. There's some players around her that can play and make sure that they can get her the ball, as opposed to Corey just finding the ball.
Right.
Yeah. So again, Northrop's going to be a handful. Ellie Diaz is good. Nori, they're good. Dwanger, they're always up there. So it's going to be fun. I have a lot of these dates circled on my calendar, because we have the Belmont, we play Leo, we play Blackhawk, we play Canterbury. I've really tried to schedule the girls that we're going to play the top teams in the area. Not quite ready to play Homestead or Carroll, but maybe in the future at some point we'll look to schedule that game. Yeah.
Autumn, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. A lot of the administrative work, trying to catch up on that from that perspective. I think I'm sick of pumping up soccer balls. So that's a fun time.
I've heard that from a lot of people, a lot of coaches recently.
It's every day. Yeah, it's like a thing. And who knew? No, in all seriousness, I'm excited. I kind of with Micah, there was a couple of girls who towards the end of last season, I was like, hey, listen, you have what it takes to do this. Go play travel. And one went to Sport Club and one went to United, and they came back. And I mean, on Monday when we did a lot of technical stuff, I was just blown away by the amount of growth that these players had already shown just within, what do you say, like a half a year. And so from that, like as Micah touched, that player development is super fascinating for me. I love to watch that. So I am excited. We have a lot of, we're struggling with numbers, but we do have a lot of athletic girls who can still get the job done. And so I really am excited to see, as the season goes on, how are we going to develop? What does this rebuilding year look like in terms of where to place certain players? This is a fun puzzle for me because we lost so much talent that I'm excited to see what happens and see what develops throughout the year. I do have to say on air, Micah, I am excited for Concordia. What I saw last year, I think you were our second or third game into the season, and I was blown away by all of your players, honestly. Even your subs coming off, they kept up. You didn't miss a beat. So regardless of me giving you a hard time here on the air and the 19th coming up real fast, I am excited for you, because that's, you know, as a coach, when you pour into the amount of hours and time and effort that you have in the last 4 years to build this team and the squad, yeah, I'm hoping, secretly cheering you on, that this is your year, to be the shock factor of,
there you go.
Where did Concordia come from? Oh my gosh, who is this team? You know? So from that perspective, I'll be nice on air and say that. And I truly mean that. So yeah, I think from a female soccer perspective, we have a lot of good teams in the area, a lot of talent, a lot of top players. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all unfolds this year.
Yeah, for sure. I did want to throw this up here. We do have a hello from Cincinnati from Brian.
Get out of here. No, just kidding.
He is actually, he's watching us. This is positive. So hopefully we're doing him proud. But no, I think across the board it's going to be super excited. For me, I'm excited to follow team. I'm excited. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I got muted there for a second.
This is what happens when Brian
I am
leaves for a
excited.
Yeah, that's Oh no, did he freeze?
I can't hear anybody right now. Of course, we would have technical.
I can hear you.
difficulties
You're
at the
good.
end of
I
the
can hear
season-
you.
or the
I can hear
show.
you, Autumn.
So
I can hear. Yep.
Okay.
We're
you
good.
guys can hear me.
We're good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brian, we need you.
Well, hey, that's all that matters anyways. So, but yeah, no, if you have something, some news to report or an upcoming match that you want us to talk about here on the podcast, something that's happening in Fort Wayne, let us know. Send us an email to info@fortwaynefooty.com and we will get it on air and talk about it here. So, anyways, I felt like it was a good night, good conversation. I felt like I'm excited about what's going to happen this season within both boys and girls in the area, and I'm also excited to have those guys back on at the end of the season to kind of see how it all panned out, because again, it's just a crapshoot, you know, like we're guessing, we're trying to figure out what we think would be good. We know that there's quality players, we know that there's quality teams out there. How it fleshes out is always up in the air, and so we'll see how it plays out. So
I know we
thanks
missed
again.
a lot of teams too. Like there's teams out there that we hadn't talked about that should be in the conversation as well. So in no way is this like an end all list of good players or good teams. Overall, soccer in Fort Wayne it's growing and it's getting better. Since I've been here 4 years, every year it just gets a little bit better.
Yeah. Yep. So thanks again, guys, for being here. Thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you guys next week.